Can you believe it? We have sunshine. We're in England. Can you believe it? But we're here to run the World Carp Classic UK qualifier here at Wraysbury. There's planes flying just overhead and we're going to be fishing in the incredible Wraysbury 1 water. There's some huge fish in there. This is the lake that Mary was called, one of England's most famous carp. But it's going to be brilliant. Over the next few days, it's going to be a 45-hour competition. This evening, we've got the opening barbecue, the competitors are arriving, and then the excitement will begin tomorrow morning. 9 o'clock, we're going to be doing the peg draw, and then from there, 12 o'clock, the competition will start. And then there's a huge prize. There's an £8,000 prize for the overall winners, and the winners will then also get a place in the World Carp Classic at Lake Bolsena later on in September. So, lots to fish for, and incredible sunshine, England. Who would believe it? So I'm here with Raphael, one of the founders of RK Leisure, here at the great Wraysbury 1 lake. Crikey!
Yes, very lucky we are to own such a water.
Indeed, and it's quite a famous spot, this particular part we're at the moment.
Wraysbury, yes, Wraysbury 1 does have a lot of history. It held the British carp record with Mary of 57 pounds.
Yeah.
56.6, scored by Pete Springate. It's been going as a pit for around 30 years now.
Right.
It's a very famous fishery. So, had a lot of famous anglers on here trying to catch that monster carp, so to speak, and hopefully some will come out today. So,
indeed.
We'll see how it goes.
But this particular swim, there's some history behind it in terms of where we are.
So, yeah, so this swim here was actually filmed in 1984. In a 007 movie called A View to a Kill, and they had a Rolls Royce come down here and it was pushed into the water here and they sunk it in the water.
Right.
So yeah, it's a great movie.
Definitely a famous spot. So big fish, big carp, and a very famous water.
Well, yeah, so we're honoured to have the World Carp Classic here as well. I mean, what a great day it's going to be today, and what a great couple of days it's going to be. So really looking forward to it.
We're excited to see what fish get caught, who catches them, and indeed who will be going to Lake Bolsena in September this year.
Right, so, that's right. And I think it's going to come down to the last hour, I think. To be honest with you, I think it's going to go to the end.
Well, look, let's go around the lake and let's have a look at some of the swims, and there'll be some other exciting stories. Perhaps you'll let us into some secrets as we go around.
I will fill you in on it all.
Excellent, good. So this is an interesting part here. It looks like there's a division in between the two lakes.
So yeah, so this, as Wraysbury 1 was usually one lake, it was known as the North Lake, which is on our left, and the South Lake on our right. It was all one water, and we decided to split it in half, have a side which was 45 acres, which focused on the carp anglers.
Right.
And we managed to get all the original fish into this side.
Right.
By baiting it very heavily for about 3 weeks, 4 weeks before we put the divide in.
Right.
And luckily they all went over there to the bait, divide went in, and everyone's happy.
And that's it.
So yeah, that's what we're using for the World Carp Classic today, tomorrow and Sunday. And hopefully some of the big ones should come out.
Yeah, great. Well, it's all exciting bits and all good, plenty to see, that's for sure.
Definitely. Okay. So here we are at Spring Gates. Probably, I'd say, the most famous swim on the lake.
Right, now why would that be one of the most famous swims on the lake here?
Because it is here where Pete Springate caught Mary and Mary's mate.
Right.
Which at the time was the largest brace in the UK for carp.
Wow.
So, yeah, this is a very famous spot, and it's a beautiful spot.
We're down by something quite interesting here. This is, we've just come round to the corner, and what's this over here?
So this is what they call the ghost barge.
Right.
Funny story, when we purchased the lakes 2 years ago, I'd never seen it before. It moves around the lake and it beaches up wherever it wants to beach up. And I'm on the lake and I suddenly see this big object floating in the water. Thinking, what the hell is that? So one of the bailiffs came to me, explained to me the story, and it's called the ghost barge because it appears in every angle of the lake. And scarily, or funnily enough, back in the 70s, they actually found a body in there.
Really?
Yeah, they found a body in there back in the 70s.
Crikey.
It was all over the news, so a bit freaky, but a bit interesting.
Bit quirky, that.
A bit quirky, so hopefully none of that anymore.
No.
You know?
And thus the name, the Ghost Barge.
The Ghost Barge, so there you go. So
So if we see that sort of moving around the lake,
don't be scared.
No,
all is under control.
we know what's going on.
There you go. So we're coming up to the famous dredger.
The famous dredger, goodness me, all these great names.
I know,
he swims.
All adds to the flavour.
It certainly does.
So yeah, this was sunk back in the 70s.
Right.
And it was used to dig out the divide between the North and the South Lake.
Oh, right.
Because originally, the North and the South Lake were two separate lakes.
Right.
Then they dredged it with this dredger.
Oh, right.
To open it up to one lake, and then we put it back to the way it should be.
Wow.
So that's the famous landmark, probably the most famous site you'll see on Wraysbury.
Look at that. That's
a lot
brilliant.
of people, you can see it from space. A lot of wildlife like sitting on there. A lot of cormorants you get on there.
You can see the seagulls on there at the moment.
I've actually gone diving around there.
I bet that's
crystal clear, perch,
that'd be a great spot, yeah.
It's quite shallow there as well, it's not deep.
So how deep would that actually be? Probably about 6, 7 feet?
So we did a contour map of this whole south side.
Right.
And you go up to 30 feet holes in certain areas, averaging 15 foot.
Right.
12 to 15 foot, I'd say is what you're averaging in the whole lake. But it's just really interesting to see the contour and the bottom.
And the different shapes.
There's some really hidden holes and dark holes that go down 30 foot. It's like, why, how? But you know what? That's what the fish love, I suppose.
Yeah.
And because you've got so many different fingers and creeks here, the fish have so many places to hide.
Yeah.
There's still unknowns in here. There's definitely fish that no one's caught, which hopefully someone will catch this weekend.
Fingers crossed.
So yeah.
Fingers crossed, but it's a lovely spot. It really, really is lovely.